Just finished watching all 4 games today of the NBA playoffs. It was a great day to sit back and enjoy playoff basketball. And we just finished watching the Laker game, but we'll leave that one for last. We'll go in order. The first one we're going to talk about is Toronto at Cleveland. Cleveland got the job done. It was close for maybe a quarter and a half, and then Cleveland just let Toronto know that they don't really belong in on the court with the Cavaliers. Especially, I will say my biggest disappointment with Toronto is the way they were coached up. Brandon Ingram, who should be their leading scorer, should have been their leading shot taker, and he put up 8 shots in the whole game. I think it was 9 shots, less than 10 shots in this game. So again, that's just not, what are you doing? That's not your strengths. They're starting Jakob Poeltl and RJ Barrett, and I get it. I don't get it, honestly, because I could have told you this prior. I kind of told you that, they just don't have scoring. And that's the problem that they ran into today against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you know what? The Raptors defense didn't show up either. Cleveland put up 126 points. That's not going to get it done. And their best defenders, some of them, I guess you could say, like Scotty Barnes, was matched up on not one of the best players for the Cavaliers. Like, you need to have him guarding, some of their best players. You can't have him just in the wing relaxing. Connor Boyles, the rookie for Toronto, needs to be playing more minutes. I mean, this kid has shown that he can play. Today, he came in and he showed he could play. 14 points, 7 for 8 field goals, and he played only 20 minutes. And then you had Jakob Poeltl out there playing 21 minutes. At least his minutes didn't go for that much because he was terrible. And RJ Barrett, 31 minutes played. That can't happen anymore. I get it. He led the Raptors in scoring, but if you watch that game, it was not a good RJ Barrett game. Like, he was getting cooked defensively. Just IQ-wise, they weren't playing good basketball. Scotty Barnes put up 21 points and had 7 assists, but he had 5 turnovers. He's got to play better too. Again, it's just a disappointment to see this with the Toronto team. I don't know what the game plan was, but it was not a game plan built to win. And if they walk out the same starting lineup, Ingram had 9 field goal attempts. The rookie had 1 less field goal attempt than Brandon Ingram. Okay? Like, it's not smart basketball. While Cleveland, on the other hand, they delivered. Donovan Mitchell is clearly the best player in this series, without a doubt. He had a 30-piece. So he put up 32 points, 11 for 20 shooting. He was lights out, phenomenal. James Harden played pretty good too. He was cooking. He didn't shoot the ball fantastic, but he did what he had to do. 10 dimes, shared the ball. And honestly, the Cavs just looked like the better team. And that third quarter was all about Max Strus. He took over. He ended up having 24 points on 8 of 10 shooting, 4 for 6 from 3. So Cleveland, like I said earlier, I think Cleveland's going to win this series in 5 games. But I'll still keep it at 5 games. But I'm just saying, I said the wild card in this also will be that the Raptors have a rookie head coach, and it showed. He came in, he had his team unprepared. They looked ready to go for the first quarter, and that was it. And then I think in his mind, he thought Cleveland's going to do everything they can to shut down Brandon Ingram. So I'm going to make Brandon Ingram be a screener and a passer. And okay, well, once you saw that Ingram was still cooking and that's not what the Cavs were really doing, well, guess what? Then adjust. You can make adjustments during the game. And there was just no adjustments made. So that was game 1. Game 2 was Minnesota at Denver. Best game of the day. It wasn't even that it was super close. The Nuggets ended up winning 116-105. But this series is just awesome. Like, I love watching these two teams play. Honestly, you never know who's going to win. Denver came out and did not look good early. Minnesota was up 10+ points. They were up 10 at the end of the first quarter. But it always felt like Denver was going to make their run. And I honestly felt the whole time that Denver was going to win just because they just were shooting the ball so terribly and they were still only down like 6 or 7 points, and it just seemed like they were going to get going. And they did. Jokic was great. He didn't even have to score much. And he still ended up with 25 points, okay? 13 rebounds, 11 assists. Phenomenal. It's him or Anthony Edwards as the best player in the series, obviously. And I think right now it's pretty obviously Jokic. Edwards is coming off a knee injury as well, and he just doesn't look as explosive, but he still had a good game, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. But yeah, I mean, the Wolves, I just don't think are matching up as well this time around with the Nuggets. The Nuggets have depth. It showed, like I said, I mean, Spencer Jones only had 5 points, but his impact was felt. Tim Hardaway Jr., 7 points. Bruce Brown, 8 points. Like those minutes without Jokic, there was a span there without Jokic that honestly they hung tight and they cut into the Minnesota lead. And, you know, if you're Minnesota, that can't happen. When Jokic sits, you got to like expand on your lead. So, again, I picked Denver to win this series in 6, and I do still see it playing out like that. So we'll see how that continues. Atlanta at New York was the other game tonight. New York took care of business, 113-102. The fourth quarter, it kind of got out of hand, and then Atlanta made a mini run with like a minute and a half left, but the Knicks put it away. Look, the Hawks are a nice story. This series, to me, is very similar to the series of Toronto and Cleveland. Two teams that have had a great year and kind of, you know, progressed. Toronto making the playoffs, Atlanta making the playoffs, moving on after Trae Young and showing promise with some of these younger guys coming through like Jalen Johnson, who finished with 23 points tonight. But the Knicks and the Cavs have a lot of pressure, right? They're expected to make the finals. They're expected to get to the conference finals. So they got to get the job done. The pressure is on them, and they just are the superior teams in these series. You know, in the beginning, I thought if either team, Atlanta or Toronto, which one would have a better chance at, you know, upsetting the higher seed. I thought it was Toronto, but after seeing today, I just don't think Darko Rajakovic is prepared for the playoffs, right? And again, it's one game. Anything can happen in the playoffs. We'll see how he adjusts. But in game, he made really no adjustments that I saw. So to me, I'm looking at it as like, well, you know what? At least Atlanta has a kind of veteran coach that's been there before. And, you know, maybe that is something that at least can give them a game or two. And I don't think either one of these teams is winning the series. Obviously, I picked the Knicks to win in 5, and I picked the Cavs to win in 5. But I think that, you know, the Hawks have the better chance of pushing it to 6. I guess I'll put it that way. Anyway, the Knicks look great. Cat played great. Brunson is Brunson. He's phenomenal. And the role players were awesome. Mitchell Robinson was in there wreaking havoc. He's great defensively and blocking. He finished with 2 blocks, but they were sensational. So anyway, the Knicks get the job done. And the last game tonight was the Lakers at the Rockets. Remember, I said this will be my underdog series win, in my opinion. I think that I picked the Lakers in 7. And really, I said the game plan, the way I see it playing out, is they just need to split one of these first 2 games at home, right? I was saying the Lakers just need to win one at home, and then LeBron will still have something in the bag to be able to steal one in Houston. And the series will be 2-2. And then for game 5, either Austin Reeves or Luka Doncic or both, I think one of them at least will be back for that game. And then we can go home. And game 7 in LA, if the Lakers are fully healthy, I think they would beat the Rockets in the game 7 at home. And tonight ended up being the must win for the Lakers because Kevin Durant, ended up being out tonight and not playing. So as much as people might be like, oh, what an upset, the Lakers beat the Rockets, to me, this was a must-win game for the Lakers because while they're banged up already, even if the Rockets are, at full strength, the Lakers obviously are already at a huge disadvantage, missing their second and third best player, or I should say their first best player in Luka. And you can argue whether LeBron's number 2 or Austin Reeves is number 2 there. But 2 of the top 3 players were out for the Lakers. So they're already going to face an uphill battle. And if that uphill battle gets a little bit easier, that's your window, and you better take advantage. And they did. And so, again, LeBron didn't do, the crazy scoring or anything, but he was phenomenal. I mean, he was, dishing the ball, getting his teammates involved, and really LeBron controlled this game just by sheer playmaking and reading the game. He finished with 13 assists. I just looked that up. And 13, 8 rebounds, 19 points. And really, like I said before, the reason I also picked the Lakers is the Rockets I feel like the body language isn't there for me. There was one point where Jayshawn Tate got a technical, then Ime Udoka's over there, calling the ref a B word and losing his composure, which I get it. It's the playoffs and all that. But, they just were clearly, I think, getting rattled and getting frustrated. And honestly, some of the no calls that were going against the Rockets did look like fouls. And then you would see the instant replay and be like, actually, that was pretty clean. Like there was a block by Jake LaRavia that looked vicious, and it looked like he definitely would have hacked. I think it was Amen Thompson going up for a layup. And then you watch the replay, and it was a pretty sick block. So I think the Rockets were falling for that bait and just getting frustrated. You could see it. So now, hey, game 2 becomes a must-win for the Rockets, and I almost feel like KD is for sure gonna have to play because they can't go down 2-0 to a Laker team without their best 2 players, because that just buys the Lakers more time. So again, the Lakers, it's a race to 2 wins right now for the Lakers. Just get it to 2-2 by game 5. So you give Luka and Austin Reeves some time. And then obviously I think, look, if you're beating the Rockets, again, KD didn't play. I understand it. That's the Rockets' best player. But if you're able to compete with the Rockets with their full strength team when KD comes back, well, then it's only logical to think that they would beat the Rockets, right, with a full strength Laker team. So we'll see. It's really about, can the Lakers buy themselves some time? It's the same thing in the Sixers Celtics series. Can the Sixers scrap it up and buy themselves time for Joel Embiid to come back? And that's why I predicted, I think the Celtics know that and will be focused from the get-go in that series. But we'll see. 4 games again tomorrow. I'll try to watch all 4 of those and hopefully do a recap, if not tomorrow night, Monday. So looking forward to that. But great day to just watch some basketball. If you were able to sit back and watch basketball on your couch like I did, be thankful. That was fun. Great day. So hopefully everyone had a good one. Have a good night. Hey, remember, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll talk to you on the next one.